Hi, my name is Corey Minter, and I'm here with Darcel, and we're with Trinity Employment Specialists. We are a staffing agency located centrally here in Tulsa, Oklahoma, but we staff for travel nurses all over the nation. And the title of this podcast is Travel Nursing Trends, like a look ahead at what to expect. And we always try to start off with a little bit of a few stats. It really depends on where you get this particular stat, because literally just another article that I'd looked at that we had done just a minute ago, actually, we had quoted a Forbes stat where a Forbes stat quotes that the average travel nursing salary is $81,000 a year. But then you go and look at the Bureau of Labor Statistics, and
correct.
they quote that the average pay of a regular RN is $43,170 per year, in contrast to the travel nursing salary of $103,893. Obviously, there's a big gap here. What do you think the real stat is there, Darcel? Because that's a pretty big gap,
it's over
20 grand.
Yeah, I was going to say it's over 20. That is the real stat
Is
of a
the
travel
100
nurse.
is
The
it?
103, yes.
Yeah.
And a little bit above, depending on their specialty.
Yeah.
Because say a labor and delivery nurse, if she's going out of state, she could make $2,400 a week, and most of that is tax-free.
Right.
So they could reach that, maximum of 100 and something.
I just wanted a little bit of an explanation there, because we literally just did a video a little bit ago quoting the Forbes stat, and this one is so drastically different.
Exactly.
I wanted to make sure that we address that. But the idea behind that is that if you are a specialty nurse and you have worked in a hospital for at least 2 years, travel nursing is likely an option for you. And even if you have a family and your perception is, well, I can't travel.
Right.
I can't be going to Florida. I would like to, but I can't really be going to Florida.
Right.
All you have to do is travel at least 50 miles.
Absolutely.
Outside of your area, and we have a couple of places that literally just an extra 20 minutes to work every day,
Yes.
and you could double your salary.
Correct.
So we have a lot of different options like that.
Absolutely.
You can consider it, because I completely get it. Just the terminology travel nursing says, well, that's not in my abilities because I've got kids. I can't be doing this.
Absolutely. But you can do it within your state. And I have a lot of conversations with our RNs. They're like, well, I'm not able to travel. I don't pass them up.
Yeah.
When they tell me that, then I say, oh, well, you could travel in your own state. Changes the dynamic of what they're thinking.
Right.
And then they want to know more information.
Right.
Because they become interested, because all you have to be is 50 miles from your home, and you can pick up a travel contract.
I mean, if you think about it, it's a great opportunity for people to at least check into, because that's quite a difference.
Oh,
I mean,
absolutely.
even in Tulsa, Darcel, your average commute in Tulsa, I believe, was 20 minutes. And for me, I live in Broken Arrow,
Right.
and that's for those of you that are not in the Tulsa area. Broken Arrow is basically like Tulsa. It's just a suburb of it, and it takes me about 30 minutes just to get to work. So you're not looking at a whole lot of difference. And then you think about like going to a place like California or something like that. You're looking at an hour drive anyway.
Yes. And another point I want to make, we focus on travel nursing making the stipends, but a nurse could still pick up a travel contract within that 50 miles radius. They just get paid a higher hourly rate. They don't get the stipends. They're still making more money than they normally will make. Your hourly rate goes up. Okay?
Right.
I might pay you $50 an hour because I have to combine the stipends into hourly versus the tax-free. It's just not tax-free.
Got it. Well, let's start with what the entire me and Darcel just begin talking sometimes, but the travel nursing trends look ahead. First, there are different kinds of contracts that you can get. Darcel talked about them a little bit, but generally you're looking at a contract that's about 13 weeks or less. What are some of the other contracts that might be available
Well, again, I just spoke on it. You could have an hourly contract. You still could do 13 weeks, but it's hourly pay versus the stipends because they're under the radar of the 50 miles. And then you could do contracts for 8 weeks. I have seen 6 to 8 to 13 weeks. Majority of them are 13 weeks. Sometimes we have 26-week contracts. So they're out there, depending. A lot of nurses will say, well, do you have something a little longer? And sometimes you could get them 26 weeks.
Right.
Yeah, so that's variation.
Well, the second thing is that nurses need to just be aware of is the nursing shortage continues to grow. And as basically baby boomers begin to get older, they're going to need more health care. That is one of the number one reasons. Plus, it just seems like in our culture in general, and let me just talk about myself, not anyone else.
Okay.
Just to keep from offending people
Right,
ourselves.
right. Okay.
I feel like if I go too direct, I might offend people.
Okay.
So just to talk about myself, I'm a little bit of a wuss. So if I get sick, okay, whereas maybe people a few years ago would just drink a bunch of water, maybe take a bunch of vitamins, and
feel better
after a while.
Right.
I'm going to get my antibiotics.
Right.
I think that's kind of a trend now.
Yeah.
And so any small ailment and I don't know what that says about our culture, but we ought probably not to talk about that. But,
Yeah.
I'm a part of it.
Most men are.
Would
Would you agree?
Oh boy.
Most men. I mean, that's just the nature of the beast, I think.
Yeah, well, the nursing shortage continues to grow for whatever reason. I don't know about Darcel being right. Maybe she is, but either way, nursing shortage is going to grow, and it's going to
grow.
And when you have a demand, price is going to go up. And one of the ways that hospitals are using the ability to keep up with the demand is basically pay more in the form of travel nursing to entice nurses to leave their current jobs, make more, fill a gap that has to be filled. And so that is what is going to happen. The next thing is the Affordable Care Act through let's look at, I mean, they threw 20 million new people into the system. So that's another reason why this is happening. And so looking ahead, there's no telling what's going to become of the ACA, the Affordable Care Act. However, we know it's likely it is not going to be enticing for any government official to take away health coverage.
Correct.
So that's not going to go away. It's going to stay there. So there's a stability in this field. Bigger roles for nurses. What are some of the different roles that are going to be coming about in the coming years?
Well, I just think travel nursing in itself, in general, is just going to boom. Okay, so your roles are going to be different from your current job because you're going to be able to travel. There are going to be some case managers positions available. A lot of behavior health. I'm looking at that, especially with what's going on in the world today in 2020 with what we're going through. We're going to need more psych nurses.
Yeah.
So that is going to be a major feat. I think within the next coming months, you're going to see a lot of behavioral health nurses being needed. So that's a plus, even in some correction facilities. So I think that's something, because there's a lot of nurses that love behavioral health. So now we got to pull them toward travel because we're going to need them.
Yeah, right now we're dealing with COVID. We're in June, and it's really becoming a big deal. But one of the things that was unforeseen when this whole thing started is just when you yank 30 million jobs, 30 million people filed for unemployment. Listen, that unemployment's going to begin to fade away. That at first it was a big, huge fluctuation of money into the market, and I was buying furniture just yesterday, and it was yesterday, and the guy said, we're out of furniture because everybody got their on unemployment and they got more money. So that's going to happen, but that's going to wane away.
Yes.
And I personally, just from my friends talking, there are many people considering suicide
Yeah,
because
it's up.
this has really thrown
Yeah.
their lives away. So you're right. I think behavioral nursing is going to be a
Yes.
big thing.
Yes, because some of the people are not going to get their jobs back because COVID hit, and a lot of companies are not opening back up.
Yeah.
So that's hard for them.
Well, if Trinity can help you to learn about travel nursing, we would love to be able to do that. There's going to be a lot of new opportunities come about. It's not going to stop growing. It'll continue to grow. Please give us a call. Speak with our cell at 918-622-2588, or you can visit us online at trinityemployment.com.